tonight's a great night to shine a light on all of those that are going to be hurt by this budget. And I also think we need to shine a light on that they did it in the dark of night. Yes. We're here to share our stories. Thank you all very much for coming, and now I'm going to hand it over to Gwen.
I just think about how they like to call it this big, beautiful bill. There's nothing beautiful about it. 13 million people are going to lose the most basic health care, and they most likely will die, maybe not right away, but within a year or two.
That's not right.
So I call it the big ugly murder bill, and I think that's what we all should be calling it. And we should hold these Republicans to account. They are not governing. They are traitors to their people. They are traitors to the Constitution, and they are mass murderers.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Tiffany, and my daughter here is named Maria. She's 24. I have a unique situation. I am a mother of this beautiful girl. She actually goes to St. Anne's, which is right over there. She goes there 5 days a week, and she gets personal care. Without those services, it would be difficult for her to be in the community. Also, I rely on that because these services aren't nice to have. They're a necessity. I work at the VA. Having to report to some idiot that's not even my boss of what I did the last 5 days. It's called saving lives, unlike you, while you're destroying those lives.
We want everyone to be able to have health care that they can be able to afford and be able to live a successful life.
I'm a speech and debate coach for an incredible high school in Milwaukee, Ronald Reagan High School. And some of our students are non-binary or trans, and I worry for them every day. I check in with them constantly. They are scared, and none of our kids should ever have to be scared that no one cares about them or that their lawmakers don't care about them.
He gives to the rich and takes from the poor. O'Brien's style. That's rotten to the core.
If those people would just pay their fair share, that $2 trillion would cover all of this. All of it. There would be no problem because it doesn't cost more than $2 trillion to do what we need to do for our people. They complain about drug addicts and, people that are addicted. They are addicted to money.
Every American has to stand up and stop Trump and the Republicans who enable him and the billionaires who support him to defend American democracy. We need to grow our movement.
I would like you all to make a pledge to become neighborhood ambassadors. So I'm also asking that more women get involved. The 1% is putting us all down, and we should not allow that any longer.
What has gone on with this so-called big, beautiful bill? It's not beautiful. It is hurting the most vulnerable in our society. It is benefiting those who least need the help, and it was done in the dead of night because they were hiding. And more of us together, the stronger we are.
36 residents out of 47 living there that are on Medicaid and SNAP. And both of those programs have been reduced. Slashing the people on the bottom rung of the ladder so those at the top can keep going up. And if you recall anything from 1933 in Germany, that's what's happening in our United States right now.
You know, I was here to talk about Medicaid because we're all angry about the tax bill today, but I also care about what's happening to my immigrant neighbors. I care about what's happening to trans people, and it's eugenics, and it is the beginning of a genocide here on our own soil, and we have to stop it.
Hello, my name is Tiffany, and my daughter here is named Maria. She's 24. I have a unique situation. I work full time, and my life's been really turned upside down since all of this has gone on because I'm at work constantly getting distracted by all these emails and meetings that no one knows anything, and then going home and trying to make sure that my daughter's got the care she needs. I've been advocating for over 20 years, and I will tell you, I've never felt so eerie in my life. So basically, my life is work, town hall meetings. And I today called every single House representative in Wisconsin and chewed them out because this is ridiculous. And we, a lot of times they'll call and ask what district you're in, and it doesn't matter. You are a Wisconsin legislator. You and your votes impact all Wisconsinites. I don't care what district we're in. You need to be held accountable, and you need to start coming to work. I've had enough of these politicians gaveling in, gaveling out, not showing up. That's AWOL. If we didn't go to work, we wouldn't be getting paid, and they need to start being held accountable. So thank you, and thank you, Luann, for doing what you do.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, my name is Chloe Ivy, and I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm with Citizens Action and Northside Rising. And I just wanted to say my cousin was in an accident a couple of years ago, and she is on my phone right now watching us speak about health care. And I want to say she has suffered through a hit and run, a car accident, and now she's facing cancer. The only thing I want to do is to be able to spend more time with my cousin. I love her. I help her with her inventions on being a cook, and she sells her food to the community. But also, I just want to let her know that I am here for her whenever she needs me, and I am here for my Citizens Action mentor, Miss Melita. I love her, and I'm just happy to be able to be here because everyone cannot afford health care. I know I can't. I can barely afford rent. So, and I know that may be a couple of people here that struggling with bills and stuff, but we're here for a broader perspective. We want everyone to be able to have health care that they can be able to afford and be able to live a successful life. And that's all I want to say.
Yes, thank you.
Anyone else want to speak?
Hi, my name is Julie, and I'm a resident of Milwaukee. Representative Brian Stile is not actually my representative. Representative Gwen Moore is, and I feel very fortunate. Woo-hoo! Yep, Gwen gets it, and I feel very fortunate. But I did want to be here to talk about things that I think are important that Representative Stile knows about. Specifically, I want to speak about how, if the Affordable Care Act premium subsidies are allowed to elapse, what that's going to mean for me and my family. The Affordable Care Act passed in the spring of 2010. And in the fall of 2010, my family found out after my dad was diagnosed and my just turned 40 sister was diagnosed, both of them with breast cancer. We found out that our family carries a breast cancer mutation. So for me, the Affordable Care Act, the first thing it means for me is that I cannot be discriminated against because I carry that mutation as well for a pre-existing condition. So remember those days? Remember, I think, when childbirth was considered a pre-existing condition? So that's not something I think we want to go back to. For me, the Affordable Care Act meant that I could leave my corporate job and I could start a small business. And for 7 years, I taught hands-on, in-person cooking classes and had such a wonderful time doing it. Met so many great people across Milwaukee. So that allowed me to leave the safety of corporate health care and start my own business and have coverage for my health. And the last thing that the Affordable Care Act means for me and my family is that it gives me the flexibility now to not work 40 hours a week. And in the time that I'm not working 40 hours a week, I'm allowed then to travel to spend a week with my parents every month, to help them with the kind of home and yard maintenance that as 80-year-olds is getting beyond them. So I can go home and I can wash windows, I can cut grass, I can, what are the other things? Change light bulbs. I like to do things to keep my parents off of ladders. That's what I want to do for them. So, and the other thing is, I really enjoy spending time with my parents. I feel fortunate to have them, and I'm never going to regret spending this time with them. So if these premium subsidies evaporate at the end of the year, I am not going to be able to afford $1,900 in insurance premiums every month. So I'm going to have to go back and hide in someone's corporate health care. And that's going to mean that I will need to be working 40 hours a week, and we're going to need to make other arrangements to try to keep my parents in their home. So I don't understand why Republicans want to discriminate against people for their health. I don't understand why Republicans are interested in thwarting small businesses. And I don't understand why Republicans don't want me to spend time with my elderly parents. I don't get it. It's a win-win to keep my mom and dad in their own home. And the thing that really, really irritates me is this isn't something we have to do. If the wealthiest of us would pay their taxes the way the rest of us do, if we would increase that corporate tax rate, so in 2017 it was at 35%, correct me if my numbers are wrong, and the 2017 tax changes that were put in by the first administration of Trump dropped it to 21. If we would just meet that number halfway, we would be able to raise $1.3 trillion. All these cuts that are being made would not be necessary anymore. So thanks for listening. Who else would like to speak and share their story? Put your hand up. There we go. All right.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gwen. I live in Kenosha, but I'm originally from Oak Creek and Milwaukee. I am disabled, as you can see. I have a condition called long COVID. So prior to the pandemic starting in 2020, I was not super healthy, but I was healthy enough. And then I got COVID, and I never got better. And I was no longer able to work. And I've spent the past 5 years, proving that I was worthy of Social Security disability, proving that I was worthy of being given disabled housing in the Section 8 program. I had to wait on a wait list for eons before I finally got moved to Kenosha. I now live in a building with 200 other people, all reliant on Section 8, on Social Security, on Medicaid and Medicare, just like me. And, I brought just one of the medications that keeps me able to sit upright in this chair talking to you right now tonight as a visual aid. One of the symptoms that comes with long COVID is essentially a permanent migraine. So basically, without this medicine, I would be in constant 24/7 excruciating agony. I would have an aura that would make me blind in my left eye and cause me double vision and vertigo when I try to walk. I would not be able to look at a computer screen. I would not be able to look at a phone screen. This is the only medication that works, and I had to fail 4 other medications before Medicaid would even cover this one. And I just checked with my pharmacy the other day. If I lose my Medicaid, this medication is $1,000 a month. I can't afford that. My Social Security is only $1,200 a month. And I have other conditions on top of that. So basically, come December 2026, whenever these cuts go into effect, I will not just lose that medicine, but I will also lose the medicine that keeps my acid reflux in line. So, I'll start developing ulcers. I won't be able to keep food down. I will appear anorexic because that's what I looked like before I got on those medications. And I will also have such severe mast cell activation syndrome that I will constantly be going into anaphylactic shock from all sorts of different allergens. And I rely on all of these medicines to stay alive, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, come come next year, you know, me and all my neighbors, how many of us are going to die within a month, within 2 months? You know, is it going to be the ulcer? Is it going to be an aneurysm? Am I going to fall and get a concussion because of the vertigo? Or am I going to suffocate to death because I don't have my allergy meds, you know? And I just think about how they like to call it this big, beautiful bill. There's nothing beautiful about it. 13 million people are going to lose the most basic health care, and they most likely will die, maybe not right away, but within a year or two.
That's not right.
So I call it the big ugly murder bill, and I think that's what we all should be calling it. And we should hold these Republicans to account. They are not governing. They are traitors to their people. They are traitors to the Constitution, and they are mass murderers.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, my name is Dan, and I'm with Luann Bird's group. And thanks so much for everybody coming out. This is fantastic. We never anticipated this many people. This is great. And it just shows you how much this affects everybody. And they have to start listening. Glenn, you were talking about your name for the big, beautiful bill. My name is the big bullshit bill. Because they talk and they glance, they don't even discuss what the most important parts of that bill is. They just go over it. And Brian, we know what your initials are, BS, and that's exactly what this is. Now, there was an article in today's Journal Sentinel that pretty much summarizes the impact of this budget bill. It said the top 0.1%, not 1%, 0.1% of earners stand to gain nearly $390,000 on average in after-tax income next year, while Americans making between $17,000 and $51,000 would lose about $700 per year. And those with an income of less than $17,000 will lose more than $1,000 on average.
And where are we going to get that money?
It's not right at all. And that doesn't even include the impact of tariffs. I mean, tariffs hit low-income people the hardest. It really makes me sick. It really does. And so I came up with this little poem, Brian, about our beloved congressman. He gives to the rich and takes from the poor. Oh, Brian's style, that's rotten to the core. Thank you. Anybody else want to talk?
Hi, my name is Erin Miller, and I'm autistic. I use the service Family Care in Medicaid. It does things like pay for a visiting nurse with my medication management, a job coach that helps me break tasks into steps so that I can work part-time. I have my independent living salesperson teaches me things like knife safety when I'm making healthy meals. And I can work part-time, but I can't do more than that. What I don't quite understand is, why is this a Democrat thing or a Republican thing? Excuse me. It should be an everybody thing. We all take care of our families, and, well, I guess that's it for me.
We live in the richest nation in the world. Why do we have to do this? We have enough money to take care of everybody, to give the SNAP program, give people that need food. Children should never be starving. No child in this country should ever go without food, ever. All these people in nursing homes that need care, they're going to cut the workers there. These people need care. And without Medicaid, nursing homes are going to have to close. If those people... Thank you for that. I didn't know that. The tax bill that they are putting through is going to give 2 trillion, that's a lot of zeros, tax break for the wealthiest people in this country. That $2 trillion, if those people would just pay their fair share, that $2 trillion would cover all of this. All of it. There would be no problem because it doesn't cost more than $2 trillion to do what we need to do for our people. And that is my heartache. I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand the greed. And I'm going to tell you, they complain about drug addicts and, people that are addicted. They are addicted to money. They will never, ever, ever have enough money. Never. If you give them a $1 trillion tax break, they're going to want $2 trillion next year. And we're all going to be living in poverty. So we need to put a stop to it. Our representatives have to listen to us and have to get this done. That is the only alternative. We cannot fail. All of you are wonderful. You're here. We got to spread the word. And we got to call these representatives, anyone you can think of. Talk to people at the bus stop. Talk to people in the grocery store. I do it now. I just go up to people and say, hey, you know what's going on in our country? And you know what? People used to look at you funny. Now they say, yeah, can you believe this? This is ridiculous. And so then I say, you need to get involved. You need to call. You need to do something about it. So that's my recommendation of how we can fight this thing, and by being here. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Stephen Shea, Milwaukee County Supervisor. I represent St. Francis, Cudahy, South Milwaukee, and 2 wards of Bayview. Abraham Lincoln said that if this country ever falls, it won't be from a threat from without. It will be from a threat from within. We have reached that moment right now. If Trump completes his agenda, we won't have a democracy anymore. We'll have a dictatorship. Now, every American, not just those in Congress, not just elected officials like me, every single American has to stand up and say no. We have to fight every step of the way. Now, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of tears and sweat and a lot of disappointment at some point or another. But every American has to stand up and stop Trump and the Republicans who enable him and the billionaires who support him to defend American democracy. We need to grow our movement.
And I went to 2 of Robin Voss's town halls this week, and I took 5 minutes of his time, and I asked him questions like, what's wrong with feeding hungry children? Yeah. It's particularly those that are undocumented. And he said, oh, we can't take care of the people we have here. Okay. We're going to remember that line at election time. So there's lots of things you can do. Did you want to speak here?
I did. Yeah. Thank you. Hi, my name is Catherine Piotrowski, and I am a retired teacher from Milwaukee Public Schools. 31 years. And I started as a paraprofessional, worked my way up, and also raised a son who went all the way through Milwaukee Public Schools as well. But in my family, we had mental health issues, and it was a struggle all of my life. And then my son's struggle began when he went into college. But he managed to get the health care he needed because of the Affordable Care Act. It allowed him to stay on my insurance until he reached age 26. He now has a PhD He is a successful worker and individual in Madison, Wisconsin, who pays good. He pays his taxes. He's a good helper to anyone he can. I am as well. I'm here with my friend and neighbor, and I would like you all to make a pledge to become neighborhood ambassadors. There is a neighborhood ambassador program, and please do that. My simply wearing a button on my jacket wherever I go, sometimes on my bags, people ask me what's going on. I wear t-shirts, things like, "We the people are pissed off," okay? And people ask me, "Why are you pissed off?" And I'm going to put on the back of the jacket, because of this administration and what they're doing to our country. And so I ask each and every one of you to do things like that. I have a sign in my car that stays on the window that people ask me about. And it says, Rosa Parks, yeah, everybody knows her. But there were women before that who made it possible for Rosa Parks. And then there was Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And then there was others, and Kamala Harris was our latest one that really, and then our Supreme Court judges who are on the progressive side. And we need to have more women in charge. So I'm also asking that more women get involved and make it known to men that it is not fair that 51% of this population is female or of other non-specific genders, and the other side, that is the 1%, is putting us all down. And we should not allow that any longer. So also on June 14th, please get involved for the nationwide protest against the obscenity that is going to take place in Washington, D.C. Do not allow his birthday party to be the message. We need to have our own message. Thank you.
So I come from a family of teachers, mostly all Milwaukee Public Schools. And I have two moms, and I'm so lucky to have two moms. And in December, they finally got married after being together for 32 years, I think it was. And the only reason they got married is because they were scared that they wouldn't be able to. And that makes me so sick. It's hard that had to happen that way, but I'm so glad that it did. I'm a speech and debate coach for an incredible high school in Milwaukee, Ronald Reagan High School. And some of our students are non-binary or trans. And I worry for them every day. I check in with them constantly. They are scared. And none of our kids should ever have to be scared that no one cares about them or that their lawmakers don't care about them. I worry that they're not going to be able to have their gender affirming care that makes them feel that they belong. And even just beyond the high school, it's everywhere. I worry about our kids. I worry about our people. I also work for an arts organization, and I can tell you right now that we are struggling. Basically, all federal funding has been cut. We are so thankful that we at least get some funding from the state, but that's going to go down because the funding that they receive from the federal government is also going. So it shouldn't have to happen. And I hope that eventually our lawmakers will be able to have some sense put into them, but in the meantime, we'll fight the good fight.
All right, thank you. Did you want to say something? Did you want to say something?
Sure.
She came up to the front. I thought.
Oh, no, I've just been standing here. I'm just disgusted by what has gone on with this so-called big, beautiful bill. It's not beautiful. It is hurting the most vulnerable in our society. It is benefiting those who least need the help. And it was done in the dead of night because they were hiding. And it just disgusts me. And I guess we all, the more of us together, the stronger we are. So thank you.
Thank you for coming. Who else wants to talk? Sorry. Do you want to mention and then?
Yeah, mine is just really quick. My name is Katie, and I am really happy to be here. I was having a really hard day, and I didn't want to go out, but I'm like, I wanna be with good people, and I know I am. So thank you for everyone encouraging me by showing up as well. And I just want to mention that something some folks of my friends and I were starting to do. If anyone is interested, this is no pressure. This is just awareness. But every Sunday we're going to be doing sign holding on Miller Parkway, just south of Greenfield by the Target sign. So if anybody wants to join, you're welcome. We're going to also start more advertising for June 14th for the No Kings Day. So you're welcome. I'll be there. If you have any questions, you can talk to me after. 3 to 4 every week, every Sunday.
My name's Maureen Conrad. Christine mentioned me before. A week ago, a huge group of Milwaukeeans went to Madison to speak to legislators and make requests for funding supports for seniors in the state of Wisconsin. It's very difficult to ask for money when you know that monies are going to be cut from higher above. My candle went up, but my anger has not. I'm not on Medicaid, fortunately, but I'm going to be 75 in a couple of days, and I'm still working. And I do that just so that I can, keep living independently and paying my health insurance. But I want to speak for some of the people that are living in the buildings on Lake Drive, on the campus of the Sisters of St. Francis. There are 2 buildings there for low income and HUD subsidized. And in the subsidized building, there's 36 residents out of 47 living there that are on Medicaid and SNAP. And both of those programs have been reduced. And I'm just going to mention to you that what's so heavy on my mind and my heart is that this is all about the Project 2025, and they're slashing the people on the bottom rung of the ladder so those at the top can keep going up. And if you recall anything from 1933 in Germany, that's what's happening in our United States right now. There's more than Medicaid. Everything. You want to turn into a utopia? You've read stories in school when you were there about what a world is like. It's going to be robots. So I just want to mention that you learn more about fascism, because that's what this is all about.
Okay, who else has a story? Who else has a story? Are we getting close to time? Okay, we have an announcement?
I just want to take a moment to let you guys know that I am also a member of Indivisible Kenosha. So I'm actually on the safety committee. And Sheila and Brittany and I want to invite anyone who is available, especially if you are a veteran or a descendant of a veteran who fought in World War II, and especially if you are a person of color, because they're erasing veterans of color from every aspect of our society at this point. We are having another Candlelight Vigil for democracy on D-Day itself at 7 p.m. at the Kenosha Veterans Memorial. I will be there. We have a woman whose grandfather survived Auschwitz who's going to be there, but we need other people to show up, bring pictures of your veteran loved ones or of yourself if you're a veteran, and everyone's going to get a chance to speak about the really scary times we're in. I was here to talk about Medicaid because we're all angry about the tax bill today, but I also care about what's happening to my immigrant neighbors. I care about what's happening to trans people, and it's eugenics, and it is the beginning of a genocide here on our own soil, and we have to stop it.
Yeah, Exactly. Who else would like to share a story? Yeah.
I'd like to share how we can all take action and different communications. Thank you. I'm also a member of Indivisible Wauwatosa. Yay! And 5051 and Women's March, those three groups are really promoting the Stop the Clown, No Kings on June 14th. Yeah, well, there are a number of different names for this march now, but anyway, yeah, No Kings March on June 14th. Sure. So June 14th is the march for No Kings. So those three groups really, I advise you to get active in. Also talking with the media is very important. I'm on Facebook on almost every medium in the state of Wisconsin. And I also target all of our politicians on Facebook in the state of Wisconsin. I don't care if they're Republican, Independent, or Democrat. So get active, talk with your neighbors, get involved with other groups so you know what's going on. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah. And make those calls. Right, Jane? Do you want to talk about calls? I also want to mention about the other groups. Per Sisters has, I've been a member of that group for a while. And I wanted my own group. And now I've got Birds on a Wire, so we've got a group. So if you need a group, you can join us, or you can create your own. We meet every Saturday at the Birdhouse, and we plan and we organize, don't we, every Saturday. And it's still not enough. I still got to make more calls because Jane will get on my case if I don't.
I think I'm just going to end up repeating what a lot of people said. It is really important to do the calls. I called Brian Stile today. His voicemail is full. I heard from a colleague that Ron Johnson, same thing, doesn't have his voicemail. It's full. You just have to keep after them. I keep pushing that we need in-person town halls. Brian Stile had one on Monday. It was a phone town hall. He gave us 42 minutes of his time for 8 of his constituents. That's shameful. And he spent most of the time just blabbering about how you can get a hold of him, and spreading out the lies, using the same scapegoats, the illegal immigrants, Biden, blaming it on everybody and just praising Trump. So I would say, and I also get on every politician in Wisconsin. I get on their social media. I shame them whenever I can. I post, if you can post a picture, get any kind of meme that's out there. Just point out that Republicans are turds is something, trying to find a Tootsie Roll in I don't know what it is. But anyhow, shame them whenever you can. Keep calling, write them letters, and get everything that everybody said tonight, get your family involved. I have family that will not do anything. I have one friend who did not vote, and we're going to have a conversation someday. Those are the people. And unfortunately, their decisions are making all of us suffer. It's not just them that it's affecting. Just try to have a civil conversation with them, but we have to get people out to vote. We have to get them listening to reliable sources. They have to understand the difference between misinformation, disinformation, how Brian Stile twists things, and Johnson's the same way. And so that's what we're doing. I'm with Luann. We meet every Saturday, like what she said. Sometimes the meetings go 3 hours, but she gives us Fritos and wine. So we keep coming back, and we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep doing protests and just being loud and standing up for democracy and pay attention to what's going on and hold them accountable. And that's all I can say. So thank you, everyone, for coming out. We need to grow, like what Steve said.
A little bit about Birds on a Wire. We're just a group like you that just meets every week and finds ways that we can make a difference and that we can, because they work for us, we own it and we're changing it, right? We own it and we're changing it. So thank you for coming. Feel free to sign on if you'd like. I do feel so awful about what's going on here. And most of you know that I have a paralyzed husband at home. Been taking care of him for 35 years. He was actually pretty independent most of the time, but most recently he has really gone downhill. And so he has all kinds of conditions that keep him in bed all the time now. And so I have caregivers that come into the house. And after I went to D.C., they come every day. Who else is going to, they're Phil's friends. They're like family to us. They're there every day helping us. So I was quite shocked when I went to DC about a month ago and figured out that most of my, and I talked to my aides, I figured out they're going to cut Medicaid, and then I got home and asked my aides, they're all on Medicaid, except there's one that's not because he made just $200 too much. So he was very excited to tell me he is on Obamacare. Now, Obamacare is working out great. He doesn't pay anything for that. He's got a pretty low deductible, and it's, what did he tell me about this? It's, yeah, it's free. He's got like only an $1,800 deductible. It resets every year. My heart was breaking because I know that they've cut out the tax credit that you get back to pay for the premium. So I had to ask him, how much is your premium? It's $900 a month. He will not be able to afford that. So my heart breaks for all the people like Bob. So I light my light tonight for Bob and for all the people that come into my house. We've got Carla and Bob, Olivia and Deja and Ladora, and many more people that come through our house that we need, my husband needs. At our age, we shouldn't have to be worrying. None of us should have to be worrying about needing the care that we get. And like Chris said, we should actually be looking to expand it.
Thank you all for coming out on this beautiful night. You know, when I left my house, it was drizzling, and I looked up, I'm like, there's one cloud over the city of St. Francis. I was like, oh boy, this is not good. But anyhow. There was a rainbow coming across. Was there? Yeah. That's a good sign then. Yeah. That's a good sign. So thank you all for coming out here tonight. You know, this has been a battle, and it's going to continue to be a battle. You know, for years, we have been threatened with cuts to these critical lifelines like Social Security and Medicaid. And for years, we've been hearing doublespeak from our politicians on this issue. Well, guess what? They can't hide anymore because we're not going away. And guess what? In the dead of night, this shit became really real. This became real. They actually went forward and cut Medicaid, cut Social Security, cut those vital lifelines that we need. You know, Medicaid is health care for children. It's for seniors. It's for people with disabilities. It's for the mother that has to take her child to the doctor and doesn't want to have to worry about going into bankruptcy. It's for the grandfather with Alzheimer's, getting the care that he needs. For years, the Assembly Democrats have been fighting to expand Medicaid. We can't fight that fight anymore because now we have to fight to preserve what we have. You know, Social Security, it's not a handout. We all worked for it. We're all working for it right now. It's a promise that has been made to every single American. You work hard and you can retire in comfort. That is now at risk. That is at risk. I sure as hell don't want to work till I'm 95 years old. You know, our Congress has become morally bankrupt. They are doing this for tax breaks for the rich. Did you all hear about the tax break for tanning beds? That is in this budget. Tax breaks for tanning beds. To hell with hospital beds. We need tanning beds. Somebody please try to explain that one to me. Exactly. That's absolutely right. The orange one has to stay orange. I wonder what the bill's going to be when he has to be treated for skin cancer. That's right. They cut cancer research. You know, I look around this crowd and I see so many friends and neighbors that rely on these programs. I know my good friend Erin Miller's here. She's back there. She has been fighting this fight for years, living on the spectrum, living a very successful life. Why? Because of the programs that she gets to support that life. Think about it. Think about it. There are so many people on these programs that can't work. They're physically unable to work, and they want to make you work. They want to make you work for your Medicaid. Unbelievable. It ain't right. It is not right. I saw Maureen Conrad in the crowd here. She's been out here fighting this battle for years. She just came to visit me in my Madison office to talk about it. So many people are fighting this fight, and we have to keep on fighting this fight. And I just want to tell you one story about my younger sister who wanted to be here tonight, but she couldn't be here. She has been living with a incurable, life-threatening disease. One of her weekly treatments cost upwards of $26,000. I think they did that on purpose. Just one of her weekly treatments is $26,000 a week. Now, if she does not get that treatment, she's dead. I will lose my sister. If she loses her Medicaid, her Social Security, and the changes that they want to make to the ACA, she can't survive. She cannot survive. Who in the hell can afford to pay over $26,000 a week for health care? Elon Musk, exactly. But Ron Johnson, but I'm telling you, all of us here, my friends and neighbors, we can't afford this. We can't afford this. It is time that Congress starts listening to us. And to hell with the orange guy.
We're going to close it out with a song that some wonderful people here rewrote it a little bit. It's actually a song of resistance. It's This Little Light of Mine. And it's with its joyful and hopeful lyrics, this song brought unification and strength to social movements, allowing oppressed groups to reinforce their shared identity and communicate their demands for equity. So Fannie Lou Hamer, a leader of the civil rights movement, sang this song in 1964 as she fought for all Americans to receive the right to vote and have political representation. So today we sing for our right to political representation for all, not just the wealthy. All right, so we're gonna sing. We're gonna help you with each verse. Okay.
Here, she'll lead us here.
Yeah. Special verses.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Till style sees the light.
Till style sees the light, I'm gonna let it shine. Till style sees the light, I'm gonna let it shine. Till style sees the light, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Till hunger is no more.
Till hunger is no more, I'm gonna let it shine. Till hunger is no more, I'm gonna let it shine. Till hunger is no more, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Till health care is for all.
Till health care is for all, I'm gonna let it shine. Till health care is for all, I'm gonna let it shine. Till health care is for all, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Let it shine for democracy.
Let it shine for democracy. We're gonna let it shine. Let it shine for democracy. We're gonna let it shine. Let it shine for democracy. We're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you all.
Group hug.